Alright guys, so the next thing I am installing, I kind of alluded, or I may have even said when I was installing the fans, I just moved all by itself, is rugged radio. This is a GMRS 25 waterproof radio, GMR25 rugged radio. Ordered all this stuff a little while ago. Just haven't gotten around to installing. Currently, I use a handheld, and it's fine. It wasn't too terribly expensive. Rugged radio as well. I would just like something that I don't have to worry about keeping charged day to day, and this will even add a little range. A couple of groups I ride with, very organized. Do signals, and we just communicate, and it works really well. So just going all out with it. So got the radio. Obviously it came with power stuff, came with the mic, came with the magnetic deal. We'll see if we're going to use that. I don't know if I trust it. We'll have to see how strong it is. In rough riding, I don't want that bad boy falling. Along with it, I got this massive antenna, which is plenty good enough for what we're going to be doing. We're only pushing 25 watts. Mount. Now this mount, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use it. This is it's a big magnetic mount. They have an optional way to install without using this mount that I may use, because as you know, if you have a KRX, you don't have a lot of magnetic or big flat area to install that to. So may have to rethink that, or may end up going a whole different route than that. We'll just see. Also threw this in because it was on there. It is a filter, an active filter. Just keeps noise, ground noise, that kind of stuff out. Maybe not need it, but back in the day, installing radios and cars and whatnot, we would always use these. And so I did, like $8, so I'm not to worry about it. External speaker, not sure if I'm going to need it, because this has the speaker. It's right there, if you can see it right through there. And the way I'm going to mount it is this is going to be facing down, so may not need that speaker piece, but wasn't that much more. And this is a 15 watt waterproof. It's going to be fine. And the way it comes with multiple ways to mount it, I want to keep it flat, so I'll probably just leave it like that and attach it. This is the mount for this that comes with it. Probably use it. We'll just see if it works. If not, we'll engineer something else. Now, how am I going to put all this up here? Great question. So I bought some of this aluminum extrusion something. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember what it was called. Remember, I'm a novice in all this stuff. But basically, if you can see it, it's four-sided, very stout, very strong, very difficult to bend. If you grab it, try to bend it, feel very confident this bar is going to hold. And the plan is, I'm going to use these mounts. They're going to be on here like so. This will rotate 90 degrees yonder ways, I guess, or you could just that way. It's four-sided, but you know what I'm saying. It'll rotate that way, install to the cage. This will have multiple points of install here, at least 3, probably just, yeah, may do 3 points of install right there for both sides. And then along the middle here, toward middle-ish area, not 100% sure. I want to get it in and see where it's most comfortable, is where I'm going to mount the radio. This will all be, I'll show you just a second, it'll all be kind of above and to the right of where you sit. So let's go out there and see that real quick. Bought all these little pieces and parts. That's the little piece that slides through. Little bolts for it. Probably not gonna be long enough for everything I want to do, so I'll have to get some more of those. Some blue Loctite. Some of these, it came with it. I don't need those guys. And that's everything that I'm hopefully going to need to get this installed. All right, let's go see about where it's gonna go. All right, I'll try to edit this in. I skipped it for some reason. This huge mess right here. But this is the accessory kit. Comes with switch, wiring, everything already plugged up, so you can just plug your cables that they provide into it, because it does go directly to the battery. And then you have this blue cable that goes to accessory to power the light. I guess there's some sort of a light on here that it will control. So, all right, let's keep going. All right, so I'm sitting in the side by side. You can kind of see my badass fan that I just love is up here. And where I'm wanting to put this is basically from about here, as far up to the front this way, mount it there, all the way to the other side. One, it'll be super easy utilizing this to keep it square. And there is no two, so that's just that. Well, I guess, and two, then when the radio will be about here, and depending upon how I do the mounts, you saw they rotated, so I could mount the bar high, or I could mount it low. I'm probably gonna mount it high to try to keep things as close, up and out of the way as possible. So I want to keep the radio somewhere in this general area, easy to get to adjust, to turn up and down. Speaker will be directly to the right of it, and yeah, I think that's it. I think that'll work. One thing I didn't show is I bought the accessory kit as well that comes with the switch. So wiring, I may try to go in here, but that's a nightmare because of all this installed here, and I don't want to deal with undoing that again. So not 100% sure how I'm going to do the wiring. I'm sure it'll be just wonderful however I do it. Not too terribly worried about it, side by side. And then I want to put it here, I don't know, this one, you see how I did that? This is back in my early days of really screwing things up. I need to pull this off when we do this and fix that up. Have multiple spots over here as well to flip it on. It may be easier here to just stick it somewhere in this middle over here, since the radio will be directly above it. That's probably what we'll do. Glad y'all convinced me to do that. So again, we'll have to pull, I don't know how many videos ago, but I know I've pulled all this stuff out. So we'll pull all this off. We'll go and clean up some stuff back there. I'm sure it's probably dirty and messy and everything, but gives a general idea of where that's going to go and how I am hoping this install goes. I say I have this big rear view mirror right here. Is that still going to be viable in that location? We'll have to see. The good thing about the way this is being installed is it slides, so I can stick it somewhere. If it doesn't work, I could slide it down or over wherever it needs to go before I tighten it down. So that's something that benefits this install method. And the bars, I'll put all the where I got everything in the bottom of the in the about the post, the information, or whatever you want to call it. But the distance between here and over there, I don't know it exactly, but I can tell you it's just shy, it's just bigger than 39. It's probably about 40 inches, because those the bars I ordered were 39 something. Actually came in millimeters, centimeters, whatever, foreign. So I'll have to cut it. So I'm gonna have to cut about an inch. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to install the mounts that I'm going to use so that I can measure exactly how much of that bar that I need across and get that done. So let's get that going. All right, so I got one up, and then I'm going to show you with the other one how I do it. I basically did this to figure out how I was going to get it on, and then we'll show you more detail of the other. Just real quick, this clamp, when you initially put it on, seems like it's too big, but you got to remember you have this this large piece here that goes in between it, and then this goes through, and there's a nut on top that fits in kind of some little, I don't know, little channel that holds it so you can tighten this guy. And then I had this off during that process and put that back on. I don't think it's level right now, but we'll deal with that in a little whenever I get the other one up. But one thing that kind of changed a little bit of what I'm wanting to do on the inside, if you look over there, and don't look at that rope thing I didn't hang back up, that corner piece, now look here, comes out to here and limits how far forward I can put this mount. At least right now it does. Now I could engineer some, but we'll see if I want to do that. So it's a little bit further this way than I might like. I'm just gonna have to get all up there and see how it is, how I like it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll go with another route, installing to this across that way and not use these mounts right here. So let me get that other mount in so I can kind of get an idea. All right guys, so I just made an executive decision to change the install method. This is the piece of aluminum pipe, whatever it's called, the mounting thing that I'm using. But anyway, it fits because it doesn't have to go between here. It actually sits on top of this bracket on both sides. It fits without having to cut. I can center it, and then can you see right there, there is a hole on both sides already that I can utilize to mount this to. Now the screws and stuff that it comes with, I'm gonna have to just maybe try and see, trial and error maybe, because I'm not sure how stout that would be on holding that in there. I mean, I could drill a hole basically through this entire piece, run a bolt through, a nut on the other side, and I mean, it wouldn't go anywhere. But I may just, do that if I need to, because that's actually not too difficult. I can just pull front of the roof up, drill that, put that in, and that would be fairly painless. So with that being said, I think I can mock up the radio and speaker and kind of get a general idea of where that would go best. All right, mock-up attempt number 1. Radio will do fine whenever it's in. The bar is kind of cocked a little bit because this is not going to work right there. I'm going to have to reorient it pointing this way instead of that way. A little too close to the bar, so that's no big deal. Actually, I can slide it off, turn around, slide it back on, I think, and see how that looks, because I want the radio more downward facing. Looks like I installed it upside down, so you see what I need to do here. I need to have this screw in this hole to tilt that whole thing. So when I did it upside down, and I wasn't thinking about that. So that's easy fix. And I'll move this guy and we'll try it again. All right, so this is take 2 of the mock attempt. That's about where the bar will be from here to there. I'm putting finger up here it feels like it may touch the roof on this side here. So what I will do is I will put little bit of rubber in between there, so there's not a rattle noise. Let's see, and this guy, I really wanted to tilt him a little bit more. Did I do what I intended to here? Let's see. No, he needs to be here. Did I say? I probably just messed that up. That needs to be there to tilt that, so then that will be fine. The speaker is in a good location. Well, I don't know if it'll be in that location, but compared to everything, it's in a good spot. I like where it is. Now, and this is just super nice, being able to just slide this stuff side to side until I get it where I want it. But I'll probably center it, kind of based on that dot, actually, because that was something I put up and failed miserably. But if I do something like that, anyway, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with the location, kind of tucked up and out of the way. The mic, I'm thinking somewhere in this general area. Maybe put some sort of mount on here for the mic to hang on, and then when I need it, spread this out a little bit. Sorry, I'm looking there and trying to film. Spread this out a little bit, have the mic hanging somewhere here. When I need it, grab it. 10-4, good buddy, breaker, put him up there. And then I would need to kind of be aware of cabling. The mic cable, how far that might hang down. I'm thinking, you know, from here to here, be hanging, swinging, doing its thing. So I may come up with something for that as well, to hold some sort of little stretchy string that holds it up there, that so when I pull it, it stretches to me. When I put it back up, it tightens that up. I think that would work. All right, so I think this is about where this stuff is going to go. Now I need to start looking at cable routing. This guy here has a power. I'm hoping this power just goes to the radio, and then it has a mic. I guess I could show y'all what I'm looking at. This power for the speaker, this plug that goes into the back of the radio, and then the radio has power fuse is all the way up here. Is that the mic handset or antenna? Yeah, whatever, we'll look and see. Antenna got to plug in somewhere back there, huh? So I'll pull this off and do all that off of it. That's the nice thing about this. And then I can mount, once I get all that wired and ready, then I can put the bar up, attach it on my two sides, and finish routing the cable. So super pleased with this. Didn't end up being exactly what I have thought, but I think this is going to work out even better. So let's keep going. All right, just a glimpse of what I'm trying to do. This magnet deal is actually pretty good, and it's their method of installing this. So what I was thinking is putting it like this. I also have some little bolts and whatnot there, just in case this doesn't work and I have to go to plan B through E. But they also include these little guys here with the kit I bought. It helps, like, you build crap with these things for some reason. I don't know what they do, but not what I'm doing. And so what I did is, notice this side doesn't look like this side. That's because I ground off these little edges here, and I'm gonna put him like so against that little sticky and see if that holds. I've never had good luck with this stuff. Maybe this one will. This is a Skosh, so maybe they make really good sticky stuff. But I'm gonna put this on, mount it, and that'll be attempt one of this. All right, so I am going to put this bar up here again. I actually got to pull this bag off. Did a ride last weekend or so in Hot Springs. Probably saw some of those videos, and didn't have the radio done. So I put this bag that I had found up here, and it actually worked really good. I'm gonna see how I can still incorporate it and use it. It's a great place to have up high to put stuff. If you see, it has this little netting here. You can put your phone, keys, and what have you right there. It's not gonna slide out easily if you you know, unzip it. And then it has this one down here if you have like a waterproof map or whatever you want to put down there, you can shove in there. But it's just Velcro. It has two here and two back here. So if you have all this crap like I have, not the easiest thing, but it's not terrible. Oh, and by the way, the fans were amazing. Love the hell out of them. They were great. Super glad I did that. So let me get this bag down. I can put the bar up. Then I'm gonna use this little, what's it called? A chalk marker. I wanna mark where the holes are gonna be on the bar, because I'm gonna drill through, and I have a little plan on how I'm going to attach it, so I'll show you all that in just a little bit. And I just dropped the lid to the marker, but to, you know, give an idea, I am going to try to film it. Hopefully that put a mark somewhere on there. And now this side, stabbing myself with the parking brake. All right, so you get an idea what I did. Hopefully there's a mark. We shall see in just a second. All right, so the mark did work. You can kind of see it here, and on the other side here. Not quite centered, but that's all right. Now, my plan is to take this guy. I'm going to use him. He fits into one of these cage nuts, what I call it, from Peterland, but fits in these nuts right here that slide in here. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole through here. Then I'm going to put one of those nuts on the back side and front side. Little dab of some little glue to hold it while I move all this around, and then screw this through both sides with a washer on this side to give it a little bit more holding strength. We'll see how that does. I think that's gonna be fine for what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to hold up the world with it, just these little bitty radios. So let's see if it works. All right, so hole drilled. Screw fits in there just fine. I think it was a 3/8 hole. That's the size that I used here. I'm gonna attempt to put these little slots, not that one because it fell, it's trash. Slide this little fella, slide him over to there, put a little dab of something to hold it there, and do the same on the back for both sides. Also, I'm doing You see up here, I put 3 of these just loose up here, 3 for basically each side. That's for maybe future growth. We'll see, you know, if in the future I need to mount anything, that will be the side that is hanging like this. So, you know, if I need to put anything there, I will probably also slide to here, leave them up in here just in case I need to mount anything in the future and not have to pull the whole thing off. Not terrible if I had to pull it off, but just in case, you know. All right, I'll show y'all what I did. Hand tool, don't want to strip this or do anything crazy. Screwed up, screwed up. And it actually worked. I know, I'm extremely surprised as well. It went through. Now I get to try the other side and we'll see if that works as good as well. Let's focus. So cross your fingers. And no, this one did not work like the other one. Pretty unfortunate, but it's gonna take some hunting to get this in the hole, but I will persevere and keep trying to find that hole. I wish I had the camera fully going because it really only took like a couple more seconds for me to find that hole. Once you're determined, you're gonna find it. But I think I actually got it through the top as well. Either way, that is a solid structure now. So I am quite pleased with it. Now, wiring. I am going to attempt to go in that hole right there, go down, come out down there. That's covered by a bunch of crap. I'm gonna try it. If it pisses me off too bad, we're just gonna go, we're gonna kind of hide it along there and then go in and, I don't know, somehow go down and around and down through there to the battery. Not quite sure yet that path, but we will find it together, won't we? All right, let's start wiring. But really pleased with this. I don't know if I showed this. I did mount it to make sure I hit my head and cut it just in case in the future right there. But besides that, it came with this magnetic thing. I'm hoping it fits. I can take that off and adjust it if I need to, and I probably should. But for now, it's there. I'm gonna leave it there. Radio, speaker. Let's get after it. All right, real quick about the radio. One, I don't know if I needed to get an external speaker, but it came in the kit I have. That's this guy up here. This external rugged extreme. KRX is loud, so maybe we'll need it. I doubt it, but I have it, so it's happening. That being said, waterproof radio, waterproof speaker. Now you look back here, I'm like, where does this thing plug into? Where does this thing plug into? Oh, you unscrew this screw, pull this guy out, and there's a plug there. Plug waterproof speaker into waterproof radio. Now, moving this leaves this old style USB plug just in the elements. So waterproof radio becomes non-waterproof radio. Not too terribly pleased with that. I mean, I guess I could, I hate to do this kind of stuff, but I could cut this off to where this would close, that would seal, radio, the speaker would plug into there. Hate to cut up a perfectly good brand new freaking radio, but it looks like that if I ever wanted to, I could replace this piece. So that is an option. Cut that bad boy off of there, plug in speaker, close him, screw it down, good to go. I just hate to do that. You know, I wish it would have come with the hole there so you could use the external speaker that came in a dang kit that I got, and the whole thing would be waterproof. I mean, I don't plan on the radio going underwater, but unfortunately I have seen it happen. It wasn't intentional, but I saw it happen, and the radio kept working. So I would rather that be the case. So I don't know, I'm gonna think on it. I'll let y'all know in a little bit. All right, so I already have the seat out. That's fairly easy to do. Pull those 2 pins from there and there, lift the seat out. Super easy when you got the seat. That'll be pulled out. So using this as my pointer here, going to pull center console out. You have clips along this side, other side, down over that area. I think there's 2 screws if I remember right. Maybe some screws at the bottom here. Now up here, this whole thing is newly added, obviously, so there's pins, there's some new push pins back here. If those got to come out, that's going to be a massive pain in the ass. And then there should be some inside here as well. So gonna get those removed so can run power. The switch, main switch on and off, is gonna run somewhere, one of these guys. I may actually pull that low switch out since I'm never gonna touch it. Run it from there across, underneath, maybe in the little hole that's right there, up to the top, out and over. While doing this, I'm going to go ahead and put some lights to help night ride and rock crawling. Some lights maybe in the front that point some serious angle this way and that way to help with turning. And then I may somewhere around here put a light pointing out that will shine toward the sides, you know. When you're out in the pitch black in the middle of nowhere, that really helps a bunch. All right, so let's get cranking on removing this stuff. All right, guys, don't forget these 2 back up in this little cubby. I did, so don't forget those 2 guys. Also, guys, up here, this guy goes through there, if you remember from the other video, and attaches this little flippy flappy to let you have a little whisper of air come in. Need to pull it off so I can get this up and out. Thinking since these are pretty much useless that they're not in, so I'm gonna try to pull that out now. Let y'all know. And 2 more in here. Don't know if you can see them. Promise you they're in there. Pain in the ass to get to. And that's it. Once you get those last ones that are usually always a pain in the butt, you can get to it, and man, look how nasty and dirty that is back up in there. We just uncover that back up and never even know it's dirty. Down here you can see switches I have, switch I installed a while back and have not set up yet, which I will be for these lights. I'm torn about keeping the low switch, something I've never used except by accident. I think I'm gonna pull it, wrap it, and pull it and use that spot for the rugged radius switch they give you. If y'all think that's a bad idea, let me know below, but this will all be closed up and I will take your words of wisdom for what they are. All right, I'm gonna show this just in case it might work, and I'll leave it in the video. I ended up using the wire I had through here as a pull wire, pulled it down with this string attached to it, only string I could freaking find, down out through here. Now I have all kinds of crap that's gonna go up it, maybe. So hopefully that works. Multiple powers for multiple things, an extra one, and then extra wire I'm going to use as a pull wire if ever I have to do this crap again. So let's see if this works. Cross your fingers for me. All right, so it worked. I got a huge bundle of freaking wires through there, pretty close to probably the max of this hole size, and getting it through there. Honestly, I'm just really surprised it worked. I didn't remove any of this. Yeah, it just decided this one install was going to go my way. So that's the hard part. Feed this stuff down in here, grab it from the hole over here, hook it up to the switch. Then my power is going to go, can't see because all this crap, but down along here. So out from there along here to the battery. Hey, you like my workbench? To the battery right here. So yeah, that's the plan. It's getting there. Let's keep going. All right, so I just went for it. I know we talked about this earlier. We as in we're all here, but this little latch that was keeping me from plugging in my audio cable for the waterproof speaker, I ended up cutting it. Like I said, I thought I might, right on the edge there. Screwed this guy in, and then as you can tell, I have silicone around that. You know, that's something you can get out of there if you need. It's not, you know, permanent. So siliconed it, made sure it did not get in there with the fan, and that's what I'm doing. Good or bad, that's what I'm doing, making it work. I want it to be waterproof. I mean, I really don't think I'm gonna have an issue, but my buddy didn't think so either. So, you know, stuff happens, that's life. So, you know, I'll be out of $30,000 side by side, but my radio will keep working. So that's all that matters right now. All right, so let's get this put in, start making my other connectors, and keep going. All right, guys, engineering goof number, I don't know, 2 or 3. Haven't been too bad this time. When I tested mounting it with this, what did I not do? Anyone? Correct. I did not have the antenna cable on here. So now what you think is happening? So when I go to mount this up here, I guess y'all might want to watch too. Notice back hitting up there. Couple options. One, drop it, put a spacer in it and drop it down. Not all that happy with that option because that's my whole idea of putting this thing up here. Or option 2, moving this up. I mean, you see how much room I got to play here, so I'm really only, you know, if you count from this hole where it's mounted to about here where I would mount it, I would gain an inch. And would that help here? I don't think so. If anything, it would move all of this up to where the rubber would be hitting and not the metal, which is better. All right, let me take this off and then set it up there and then look at it again, and maybe something would have fixed itself. All right, so this is what I originally did, not paying attention to this guy back here. So obviously he does not go on, but maybe with another inch I can finagle it. I like the placement there. That's how I originally set it up. When you're sitting, the screen's very readable. Alright, let's pull this guy off, drill some holes, try it again, see what happens. Alright guys, take two. You see that middle section is where it was mounted before, so I just kind of used that existing middle at the bottom there, drilled some holes out on the side and put it back in there. Surprisingly really easy, not a big pain in the ass at all. So let's see how this radio looks now. I'm gonna hold it up so y'all can see. You can kind of see these screw holes. I haven't unscrewed, but normally, let's say if it was mounted there, still hitting right there, not terrible, but if I could just get it to somewhere around here, it would be even less terrible, but I don't see that happening. I don't have much room there, not much room there. I do want this up. Let me finagle a little bit. Maybe I can. Let me finagle a little bit and see what I can do. All right, for the moment, I'm gonna leave this like this and just continue. When I'm done, turn it on and have the seat in and can see the angle and see what it looks like. Then I will adjust it further if need be. If I need to add anything, I have an idea on right here doing something. So if need be, I can drop that down. So I'm not too terribly concerned with it. It's more pissing me off now screwing with it. So I'd rather get this installed and done, and then from there mess with it. So let's keep going. All right, wiring done. The way I do it, I heat shrink my individual wires, and I heat shrink on top of it as well, just to give it a little bit more, you know, protection or whatnot. So now I'm gonna feed slack, wrap any slack, and start on the bottom piece. Got to feed through here and then go through a hole right here to get up in this, and then go over there, reach across and start hooking that piece up, and then chase down a path from in there along here to the battery. Again, I'm doing kind of some multiples of these. I have a spare that I'm going to use for some lights I'm going to have up here, so I need to run that as well. So I'll include that while we're doing it. Well, I had a casualty. Pulling the slack, making it look all nice and neat. Pulled something shouldn't have, and pulled all the wires for my light bar out. Super excited about that because that's a pain in the ass to reach and deal with that. So yay, we get to do even more fun stuff. All right guys, so I know it looks like it's totaled and insurance is coming to take it away, but actually it's not. I did all this on purpose. It is wired. The radio works. I'll show you all that in a little while in another video whenever I do some more testing, but works. Super pleased with it. Now I just got to begin the process of cleaning and tidying all the wiring there. I can't really see much back there, but it's a mess. Behind here, a lot of wire cleaning has to happen. For here, let me turn this some which way where you can see stuff. What I did here, that's the rugged radio switch there, and the one below it is one that I'm utilizing. It is actually the old low switch button that I've never used. I am going to, I pulled it off. There's the piece that plugs into it. Hoping you can just wrap it. I'll test that and know fairly soon. wrap that with some electrical tape and just zip tie it somewhere up in there to where it's out the way. Now, running power to the battery, you hear the thunder coming. Typical day in Louisiana, it's fixing to storm, but it's all good. You see I got a bunch of crap on the battery. A lot of things that say direct wire to battery. Well, they're all directly wired to battery, but I'm going to be redoing that. I'm going to get a yellow top and get, I don't know what it's called, but basically like a post manager where you can put different things. It just cleans all that up a lot more. So that's going to happen. But getting the wire and run to here was kind of a pain in the ass. I ran, like I told y'all, I was going to run some power and stuff for some lights that I'm mounting. So I did that while I was doing this, and actually mounted its little fuse relay here. Hopefully that's okay. But the power, I got some of this tubing, and all the power lines run through it, go in here. I don't know how much you can try to use light since it's about to storm here on the wind, but you can see the cable as it goes up through there. And what I did, you see right there where it comes up, I just added a bonus hole right there. I couldn't find a reason why that would be a bad idea, because all this is open back in here. If you look at yours, all that back there is open. So one additional little hole to make that work a little better wasn't a bad deal. So again, power, you had to remove, I had to remove my seat rail bolts for both of these to get that thick wire underneath there. I had to remove, there's another bolt here, and then there's a Phillips screw that goes there, along with push pins all along up in here to where I could pry this guy out to kind of see what I needed to do and how I could route that. So pleased with it. Just got to clean, like I said, clean this stuff up. And luckily for me, this guy here completely unplugged. Yeah, when I was pulling wiring back up in here, pulled my wiring for my light bar completely out, so I have to also redo all that mess. I'll probably recreate those cables tonight. And also, since I have this section, I can pull it off. Really, you just got to unscrew. There's one screw for this guy. You can pull that lid off, and this the handle off, and this entire thing comes off. There's a hose. I'm trying that hose right there in the middle. That kind of goes up. That's where the hot water is. I'm going to cover it with some insulation, some piping insulation that I have. I'm going to go ahead and knock that out since I have this mess all open. Let's see, anything else? Let's go ahead. Thunder. But they didn't mind saying it. So, real quick, I don't know if I explained, I may have talked about it earlier. Power to switch, which is up over here. Switch to noise canceller. 2 powers from here. One goes up to the radio, cable being as bulky and as big as it was when I was doing my test fitting. My bad. I'm also going to see if they have a right angle for that, which may help as well. But honestly, I don't care. I could even leave it where this is now, but I'm going to drop it down. I think I already talked about that in another video, but it's been a day or two, so you get it twice. All right, let's keep going. All right, guys and gals, I have got it back together. Let me show you what I did. I put a piece of kind of a rubber material here. Obviously, I don't have a one of those boots or any of that kind of stuff, but you know, it seems to, it'll block some of it. It'll keep, you know, won't be blowing up like it was before. Again, that wasn't the primary reason I took all this apart. So since I was here, I did that. Didn't really have what I needed. And down, I don't know if y'all can see that, probably not, huh? But I can tell you what it is. Down in there, you can kind of see it there. I used some pipe insulator and covered that. It goes, if you look at this thing, it probably goes somewhere around here, underneath there. Super easy to get to. And then here it goes up, you know, somewhere around here. At least that's as far as I covered it. So again, that isn't the primary reason I was doing this. I didn't really have the materials, but I used what I had. Now, if I ever care about it in the future, I will modify that. So now, back to organizing wiring up in here, cleaning that up. I drove it around, so I'm going to tape this guy closed. That's the low switch thing. And this is my switch. I was able to get that out of there, so I know how that needs to be wired. I will, well, at least I'm hoping I do. So I'll recreate the cables for it. I'm going to do a little better job. This was me early on. You see, I mean, there's no heat shrink on here, just not up to what I would like to have. So I'm going to fix that up as well. So let me get cranking, and I'll update y'all shortly whenever I have made some more progress. Love these fans in here while I'm working, by the way. All right, guys, so getting close. Wiring is done. Wiring's complete. Got it wrapped up a little bit back here. Got a little bit more finessing to do, but I just was trying to get it out of the way for now. So that is done. This piece just up here out of the way. Radio is how I want it. This is in the process of getting cleaned up. I do like, I think their magnet mount is going to do pretty good. It's pretty strong. I'm also going to get something to pull this up here. One of those little, you know, if you're a trucker or you've seen on TV, kind of an elastic string sort of thing right there that holds that up and out of the way, so that when you're driving and using your rear view mirror, it's not hanging out in the way and it's kind of up and out of place. So I wired all the rugged radio. That was already done. I think mine down there, if you see it, it says Sasquatch lights. That's what I'm going to be using for my my lights that I use at night, rock crawling, that sort of thing. I need to push it in, but I wired where the words are lit up with the key, and the little Sasquatch comes on when you turn the light on. So and then I don't know if well, I know you know because I've said it, probably repeated myself 100 times. It's been multiple days, but I had to rewire this. This is the switch I have for the Kawasaki OEM light that goes white and then green. In the process of doing my wires, I yanked all that out. So I took that time to redo that real nice up in there. So y'all have done wiring, I'm sure, so that's why I didn't bother recording that. So let's turn this guy on. All right, so first we'll just verify these guys come on. Nice in front of the window to make sure. tested already, it works. What I did get to, I don't know, no I did say, whenever I was mounting this, I wanted it to tilt and be level from the seat. Super easy to read, super easy to see all that. May not seem that way from on the camera, but it is. So, but I couldn't have it, I had to almost have it tilted up because the antenna wire here was sticking back into this bar due to my measurement mess up. So what I did, you can see right there, I got a right angle adapter, actually off eBay, super quick, came in 2 days, super surprised. So from California, so works fine. So that is going to keep that, and I have that much room there. If it becomes an issue, I'll wrap the bar right there. I'll zip tie or put some sort of rubber to keep that from vibrating if it's an issue. But I don't think it's going to be. My bigger concern actually with this was the mount and it vibrating, making noise, but tightened it all down and there's no noise whatsoever. So very pleased with that. Now, if you're just watching this for the radio, it's done. It's daylight. Finally, I can do something in the daylight. It's been dark for every day I've been getting home able to do this mess. But you can see the bar a little better here. This full mount, four-sided aluminum strut bar. I'll have a link to it at the bottom. But mounted, goes across. I mean, super solid. You can mount all kind of other activities on here if you would like. It's not going anywhere. Very pleased with that. Buddy of mine, Troy, it was really his idea. He came up with it and I used it, so thank you, Troy. But worked out really well. Highly suggest it. I like having this up and out of the way. Down here I have all kind of activities down here, so it's really not, put my phone there, tablet here, switches, got all kind of mess. So this keeps it up and out of the way. I like it. It worked really well. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and finish. I'm going to do the lights and have that on here as well. So when it's all set done, you can see all that stuff. All right, guys and gals, it is done. At least as done as I'm going to get it for now, because I have a ride tomorrow and I have to button everything up. So that being done, let's show kind of an overview of what was done. So radio is installed. Really like the position, especially after getting the right angle adapter for the antenna. I like the angle. The screen's very visible. It's up out of the way. The magnetic mount seems to do really well, and the external 15-watt speaker, waterproof, seems to also be doing really good. I'll find out on the ride tomorrow how it sounds. I went ahead, since I have all this done, I put my little Kimi Moto bags up here. I like these. I think I showed these before, but if not, unzip, and inside here you have storage, but you also have kind of a netting right here at this level here to keep stuff from rolling out this way. And I got one of those on both sides, mainly to put stuff up out of the way, your phone, wallet or keys or maps or anything that you don't want to get wet, up and out of the way in case you hit, I guess, some major death water there. Let's see, let's look at the switches. Like I showed and said before, I put the rugged radio switch, I believe, where the low switch was. I deleted it, pulled it off, wrapped it up back there. It's gone out of my life. And then I have a light switch that I had, but I had nothing hooked up to it, and I'll show y'all what I put in for that. So these are to the battery straight, so he comes on. I left them on, so looks good, works great. The only thing, my after items I have in here is to do something a little better with the wiring in here. It's there, it's hidden, it's kind of out of the way, but it's just not quite where I want it to be. So whenever I feel like dealing with this again, I'll mess with it. All right, turn him off. And then these lights, these Sasquatch lights, I put these in after my last rock crawling night ride. And I'll show you the lights I put in. I had ordered these quite a long time ago, but I put them on the side, and if you kind of see, they are pointing out that way. So they're pointing out away, so I have a good view to the left of me. When you know how, if you've done it before, when you're making one of those turns, turn of death, you have no idea what's there. It's just a drop, solid black. Your lights are shining straight forward and you have no idea what's there. This will help with that. I have one on both sides. And I also put in these up here, and if you see, they are angled out a little bit. They're only for that kind of riding, night riding. I had an extra piece of aluminum that I used to mount these guys, because I was going to put them just on this bar, but they were too far forward. I didn't like that with it being a bumper, and I didn't want the light to be the first thing to hit anything. So I used that to move that back a little bit. We'll see how that works. They're not expensive lights, so if they die, I'm not too terribly worried about it, but we'll see how that works for the long haul. Then this side, you can see this light. It may be a little more angled. I may have to turn that out a little bit, but same sort of thing. It's pointing out and away toward the right, so that on those death turns you kind of see what's there, and don't have to get out and hunt around with a flashlight. But this is this angle, I guess. And you can see my mess I gotta clean up, but I like it. I'm about 98% with it. There's a little bit more I want to do and tweak up a little bit, but overall I like it. So really pleased with it. So key power's on, and you see comms light comes on, the Sasquatch light. It won't focus, but trust me, it's on. Then all the USB stuff is key triggered, so it comes on. Lights on. You can see reflection, those two. Obviously that guy, and then we got a plug on. And of course, we already did that once. Regular radio stuff went on just fine. When I put it in, just I guess a little, in case you don't remember, you fast forwarded through a bunch of that mess that was boring as hell. I put the noise canceling piece in, so hopefully that helps cancel the noise. Got that from under radio. And antenna back here. I have him here because I don't have any whips or anything, so or at least that would go on inside my song. But so we'll see how that works. I'm expecting it to be fine. And I don't think there was anything else. I think that's it. This install was definitely a lot more than initially I planned it to be, just because adding the lighting, deciding to wrap the that pipe that goes through here, putting that insulation around it, and then putting the rubber piece underneath here to try to stop some of that heat from coming up and out. Not too positive it's gonna, not too optimistic, I guess, it's gonna make that big a difference, but we'll see. I had it all open, so it's worth a shot. That wasn't the goal of this install, but just a little bonus piece. So I think that'll do it, guys. If they had any questions, I'm gonna put all the crap I bought and used in the bottom, so y'all can look at that and see, get any ideas or improvements on it. Really, the bar